Okay, what's up, beautiful people? It's your favorite realtor, Cherie, here in Michigan. I will be walking through this beautiful Novi Cape Cod home with you, and I'll just show you some of the things as a first-time home buyer, things that you should look out for when you're purchasing a home, because this can save you a lot of money in the end. All right, so this is just a room where you can use as like a study room, a library in the front entrance here on the main level. Here we have a spacious formal dining room area, as you can see. So things that you should definitely look out for when you're touring a house is where all the attic spaces are. So there's one that's right there. Later, when you have the inspection, the inspector will go in the attic just to see the condition of the roof. Since we're in the garage, right, I can already see that the garage doors have 2 motors. So what I like to do is just click them for my client just to make sure they're working. This house, I can already tell just based off of the system here that it has a self-cleaning vacuum system wired throughout the house. So definitely keep in mind like where the vacuum outlets are located. So right now, I'm straight off of the garage. We have the laundry room, and I like to point out that there's no wash machine nor dryer. So that's something my client have to consider when they're putting an offer on the house, that it doesn't come with these appliances, and that's something that they'll have to purchase later down the line. We are here in the kitchen, and it's good to just keep in mind what's included with the sale of the house. So we have stainless steel appliances, as you can see, a gas range, a dishwasher, and then the ovens, and then the microwave. So I can already tell that the stove is going to stay because it's kind of like a fixture at this point. It's built into the cabinets, and then the microwave. So all the appliances will stay that's already in the kitchen. So that's good to point out and to also take into consideration. And as I walk through the house, I also like to just take a look at the ceiling just to make sure I don't see any stains or no active leaks. It's really important to just keep in mind. You want to make sure there's no cracks on the walls, because that will definitely tell you if there are some issues with the foundation or the structure of the property. And then we'll look downstairs in the basement just to make sure. So in this house in particular, it has over 3,445 square feet. Here, in between the dining room and the family room, there's a gas fireplace right there. So you want to make sure it's working before you solidify the deal. If it's not already, you want when an inspector come inspect the property, you want to make sure you reach out to the listing agent or the seller to just make sure that they have that turned on for you, just to make sure it can be inspected. So you see this light fixture here, how the wires are exposed. It could be nothing, but still, this is something that I will point out to a client as we're walking through a property. Just say, hey, let's point that out to the inspector if this is a house you want to move forward with, because the fan is working, so I can tell it's working, but will the lights actually work? So that's something to point out. So in the garage, you remember I spoke on this particular property had a central vacuum. So here's one of the outlets. Keep in mind to be able to locate these outlets throughout the house. So that's one. So this is a Cape Cod, and as you can see, we have the master here on the first level. You want to just, like I said, take a look at the ceilings. And then another thing to keep in mind, this is a high expense for a lot of people, is you want to just pay attention to all the windows. So it's the winter time, the heat is on. What I'm seeing that these windows are really nice because you don't see any condensation. And then also they're vinyl. They're in pretty good condition, these windows still. And this bathroom is beautiful. What I like to do is just see if the water's still running. Just turn it on. A lot of times what's important to a lot of buyers is the water pressure of the house. Open the cabinets. Oh, you can tell that this bathroom was updated recently. So now we are here on the second level, and this is nice because you can look over the balcony and you can see the family room, and then also you can see the foyer area that features the door. And I'm just looking, like I said, just look at the ceilings, make sure there's no water spots, there's no cracks, because sometimes that can happen because of settling issues. What a lot of people pay attention to is carpet, the flooring. The flooring is important, right? Because that's another expense that can cost you a lot of money at the end. So you want to make sure, is the flooring something that you want, or if it's something that you're gonna rip out and put like something different in. Here is another spacious room. I love the white in here. It's a calm feeling, and you just want to pay attention to the windows. In this particular room, it have skylights. Now these skylights, they can leak sometimes, so you want to make sure that you don't see any brown spots or any moisture, because before you even put an offer in, you want to make sure that you know how much it would cost for you to repair something as such. And so here's a door, which is storage space, but if you go inside, the light isn't working. However, though, this exposed the attic, and you can see they have it well insulated in here. So typically you can peek into the attic just to see the condition of the attic. And I think this one's, the plywood is fresh. I don't smell any moisture or anything like that. It's dry in here, so they insulated this one really well. On the other end of the hallway here, we have a full bathroom that is shared amongst the rooms on the second level. Pay attention to the countertops in this particular bathroom. It's not as updated and marvelous as the one that's on the main level. And as you can see, that can be another expense that occur if you want to update the bathroom. So now we have made it to the basement. It is finished. So what I look for in the basement is the electric panel, the hot water tank, the furnace, and then also if it has a sub pump. So let's go explore. So we have another full bathroom here. As you can tell, the cosmetic wise, it could use an update, but what I like to do is turn on the fan just to make sure it's working. A lot of buyers, what they look for is an updated kitchen and bathrooms because that can cost a lot of money too. This is the room off of the porch. This is a poor basement. I'm really pleased because I don't see any big cracks going horizontal or vertical, which is really good. The horizontal ones are okay, but depending on the width of it can be alarming. This is pretty much the heart of the house. As you can see in this particular basement, because of this house, how large it is, we have 2 furnaces. And then when I like to look for any notes or anything on here, see they have on this particular one, how to use the functions. And then what I like to see and look for on the furnaces, if there is a list of how often that is serviced. I don't see one on this one, but it sounds pretty good. Sounds like it working. The house is warm. And then I'm really pleased to see this hot water tank. It looks newer. A way I can tell how the age of it is the debris and things that pile up on top is pretty clean. And then you can also look on the stickers to get the year. Okay, so this one was manufactured in 2022. So this is a newer one. I can already tell that this was installed within a year, especially around the furnace, the hot water tank. You want to just see if it's properly wired to the sewer. In Michigan, there's a lot of active water, rainstorms, lakes. We're surrounded by water. So this is really good to see like a sub pump in this house here. And what I like to do is just listen to see if it's any like active running water. In this particular one, it's not, which is good. So if it do shut off, it probably wouldn't overflow, but you just want to make sure it's working properly. And what they do is typically pull this lever here, the extractor wood, to drain it. With this sub pump, you want to make sure if it's in the area that's wet, and if your power do go out, because that tends to happen a lot here in Michigan, if the power go out, you want to have a backup battery for the sub pump. A finished room in the basement. This isn't technically considered a room because one, it's in the basement, and then it doesn't have a closet nor a window. The block windows, which is up to code, that's newer up to code. And here's the alarm system. You want to make sure you know where that is in the house. And here's the electric panel. So this one is already labeled. This one looks fairly new. You want to be able to locate that and know where that is. In this basement, it's a poor basement. And you can't really see the wall because you have this drywall in front of it because it's completely finished down here. So what I like to pay attention to is the baseboard because they'll sometimes expose if there was some type of active water on the other side of this frame here. And so as I look down here, it looks like there's some type of moisture. So I don't know if there was an active leak behind this wall, but I just like to feel it to make sure it's dry. Today it's raining outside, so it's fairly dry. So I don't know if it was something, a spill, but this could be something else going on in back of this wall. Okay, so now we're here in the backyard and look at this. I would say it's a sunroom and you should definitely pay attention to the deck. This one you can tell was finished. I don't see any dry, rotted out paint, but if you go and look out here on this, you can tell that the paint is peeling. So a nice prime on this will help keep the condition of this in good shape, and then it will avoid the rotting of the wood. And then this one comes with a jacuzzi here. And a couple things that you should pay attention to when you are walking around the house is the placement of the gutters and then trees. A lot of people are scared of trees, but we live in Michigan. There are a lot of trees. As you can see that tree. Now, that's gonna cost someone some money to repair that. But who would it be? Would it be the seller or the new buyer? And then the roof. Pay attention to the roof, the chimney, in the brick. Just make sure there is no cracks in the foundation. All those things are important when it comes to purchasing a house. All right, guys, it's been a blast. I hope you learned something from this video. If you're a first-time home buyer and you're interested in purchasing a house here in Michigan, or if you're a repeated home buyer and you want to purchase and sell a house, reach out to me. I'd love to help you. Like I said, it's really good to be informed when it comes to purchasing a house, because that ultimately make the process easy, smooth selling, and they'll put you at ease. You'll feel confident about your decision if you knew more prior to actually putting an offer in on houses. If you learned something, share with a friend, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification bell.